and welcome back to Books by Boyce. I'm going to read to you today part 2 of the short story entitled Tricky, which can be found here. Am I going to do this every video, I wonder? And well, you know the deal. Just go watch part 1 if you've stumbled across this video, right? But this is part 2. Let me just get into it. That night, I had a dream I remember. I was walking along a road with my mother. It was a long and winding road, and although flat, I strained to move along it as if it were on a steep incline. She went on ahead, leaving me to toughen up behind. When I arrived at the tree whose fruit she wanted me to pick for her, she was already there, fists akimbo, to remind me how vexed she is, but especially when she doesn't immediately have her way. I lowered my head to avoid looking at her face, knowing it was raining fire on me. The donk's tree was heavily laden with fruit. Many bird pecked, a sign they were sweet. But when I reached up to pick them, a sudden breeze would push them out of reach. I dared not look at my mother. Then, for no easily imaginable reason, I reached some ripe donk's plums between 2 branches. As I withdrew my arm, my shirt got caught on some of the many thorns. The more I struggled to free myself, the more ensnared I became, until I was pierced all over and unable to move. My mother, upon seeing this, disappointed by my inability to please her even in the little things, turned her back towards me and floated away. I opened my mouth to cry out to her, but black ants emerged, ready to fight like ants do when their nest has been disturbed. Until then, I hadn't realized they'd resided inside me, filling the cavities previously occupied by my vital organs. On another day, the bus was full. The conductor formed an X where the door would have been if it could shut. Passengers fell on me when the bus made sudden turns. They pushed their pelvises against seated passengers' shoulders as others squeezed behind them to get past. A woman yelled from the front, "Wanna go down in the bus?" Somebody sucked their teeth. Nobody moved. The bus emptied and Tricky appeared in the rear view mirror. He sat next to the driver on the cushion on the mound there. He caught me looking because I let him. Why else would I allow so many buses with the same destination as this one to go by if it weren't my intention to take the chance that was most likely to get me in trouble? I lowered my head, and when I raised it, he faced me. The blood in my palms evaporated and my intestines became barbed wire because his eyes were locked onto mine. "You, come here." He motioned with 4 fingers as if I was already by his side and he wanted to whisper something. I looked over my shoulder, then pointed to my chest, where my heart was doing backflips. "Yes, you," he said, and the same shock went through me as when I've slipped, regained my balance. "You don't get off at the next stop? Well, come up to the front." He did not wait for my answer. He pressed the bell and in a loud voice said, "Let my partner through." And again, "Make room for my partner." I did not eat anything for the remainder of the day. The desire for nourishment from food had left my body. A week later, he was in the usual place, sitting on a wall close to the traffic lights opposite the Fairchild Street bus terminal. His friends changed their positions around him like newly kinged drafts on a checkerboard. And then he started harassing people who passed by, taking some women by the elbow to a bus. competing with the other men for customers. Soon, they were debating the ins and outs of dropping anchor and laying pipes. I stood nearby to look at them, but ended up only paying attention to the one with dreadlocks who had, instead of eyes, sunglasses whose lenses were small rectangles, giving him an angry expression. I walked past them. I looked Tricky in the eyes and he looked me in mine. But like magnets of the same pole, our pairs of eyes repelled each other, and I knew that I should keep walking. I turned a corner and ran until the ants from my dream stung me under the skin where my lungs used to be, to suit the degree of involvement of this event in their continual creation. How could people pass so close and be unaffected by what emanated from within? A silent scream that caused invisible parts to buckle, creating rifts into which I was divided and plummeted, even as I returned smiles to ward off questions to which no one wanted truthful answers. You need to end these questioning voices. This is what I told myself. Why do I keep smiling at the end? But that is the end of part 2. Thank you for joining me for this, and I will see you again for more Red Round Realness in part 3.